Nexus, where we spotlight some of our favorite local businesses. I'm really excited for you all to meet Katie today. She's an EOS implementer and amazing person in general. Please welcome to the show, Katie Koester.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for having me, Renee.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be here.
Well, we here at True North, we use EOS, so I'm really excited to get into that. But first, we'd love to hear a little bit of your story, like what's your career been like and what kind of led you to being part of EOS?
Absolutely. So I originally started in the IT space, went to school at Doane and graduated thinking I would be an IT engineer for the rest of my life.
Be a great career.
Right. And really found that once I started working that I liked running the business. I liked the business aspects, the operations, things like that. Mm-hmm. And so after a couple of years working on the service desk where you get awesome customer service knowledge and skill, started working in operations for a small family-owned company that really primarily focused on construction, but they had other services they offered. And through a couple different years, I was project management, operations, things like that. And about 6 years in, found myself running our managed IT service division, and we needed some help operationally. Mm-hmm. And I happened to be at a conference and read the book Traction.
Okay.
And that is what led me to EOS, or the Entrepreneurial Operating System. And we used it for about 18 months in that division, and we were able to fix a lot of the problems that we had. Mm-hmm. And then at that point, I took a bigger role in the company and moved over to the construction side. So then I've spent the last 6 years working in commercial electrical, and we ran EOS in the business. I was their integrator, which is really related to operations, and loved the system. And about a year ago decided I wanted to do that full time. Yeah. And so I started my own business, and I help leadership teams implement EOS in their business.
That is amazing. I love that it was just through practical experience that it just worked so well for you that you just wanted to bring it to other business owners, and you had that spirit inside yourself that you wanted to be an entrepreneur. So welcome to the club.
Yeah. Yep. It's a fun club.
Oh yeah, it's so fun.
Yes. On some days. Yeah.
There are a few scattered in. So
Absolutely.
I know you're just kind of in the process of building your business. But tell us a little bit more just about EOS. You said it's the Entrepreneurial Operating System, but like what size of organization does it work for? Like maybe a few examples of how it's like truly helped an organization to give people a little bit better idea.
Absolutely. So Entrepreneurial Operating System started by Gino Wickman. A lot of people interchange Traction and EOS. Traction's the book that Gino wrote, but the official system is called EOS, and it is not a software operating system. We call it a complete set of simple, practical tools that help you do three things in your business. We call vision, traction, and healthy. So breaking that down, vision is getting everyone in your organization 100% on the same page with where you're going and your plan to get there. Yeah. Traction's all about instilling discipline and accountability so that you're executing on that vision and your leaders are executing on that vision. And then healthy is all about becoming functional, cohesive, and open and honest, because we find sometimes leaders don't function well as a leadership team, and so we help them to function well as a leadership team. Yeah. When we can get that installed at the leadership team level, it really moves through the rest of the organization, and everyone's on the same page. They're all going in the same direction. We sometimes say all of the boats are rowing in the same direction. Yeah. They're executing on their vision, they're disciplined and accountable, and a lot of times because you're working with people you love, you're functional, cohesive, and open and honest. And I get a lot of questions about how much will my revenue grow when I implement EOS.
That's a great question.
It's a fantastic question. Absolutely. And
is there an average?
18% year over year is actually the average. And some have seen way more, some see less, industry specific, things like that.
Well, it depends on like how big your revenue is when you implement, right? Yeah. So,
Well, and I always tell people it also depends on what the organization's goals are. we say we help you get more of what you want from your business. And that really is around, do you want more clarity in your operations? Do you want more and better communication in your organization? What does that look like for you? So we help you with vision, but we also help you with data and processes and solving issues and all these different things that people don't think about. They think, I just want to grow my revenue. So we call them the chaos.
This gets me really excited because I love how much it's helped within our organization. Just whenever we have an issue, if we sit down and think about, okay, which tool in our toolbox could help us from EOS, there's always something. Like you mentioned, same page. There's a same page meeting. And if you're having those on a regular basis, generally speaking, like big things don't just come out of nowhere, and just making sure that the people of your organization, especially for me being in a service-based industry, is just, they're like the lifeblood of my company. So making sure everyone understands like our values and where we're going and, why, like, and how they make a difference in pushing everybody forward towards those goals. It's really exciting, and it makes people feel really, truly more a part of it. And I have to admit, as an entrepreneur, like, I just assume everyone can read my mind. I know there are other entrepreneurs watching or will 100%. Watch that agree with me. And it's like you're just like headed towards exactly where you think you're going, and everyone else is just kind of like, catch me up. So this gives you an opportunity to do like a level set and catch everyone up.
Yeah, I had a conversation with an entrepreneur, and he was telling me awesome visions on the phone. And I said, those are awesome. What's your plan to execute those visions? And he stopped because he actually had no idea.
No, because we need an implementer.
And he's like, well, I don't know. I think I'll just get like PE funds. And I said, well, yeah, but a PE firm, private equity, is going to want to know what your plan is to make that vision come to reality.
Yeah.
And he just kind of stopped, and I said, okay, why don't we sit down and talk about some tools that can help you get there?
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious because, I mean, in the way his life has really worked, that has always worked out for him magically somehow. But there's always been people along the way that probably helped him get there. He just didn't realize or have the right terms or, process in place that could really help him. The most amazing part of the last 5 years of my life have been learning the fact that I'm a visionary and like accepting me for who I am.
Yeah.
And I totally own it now, and I don't feel guilty that I'm not, the one that's pushing things across the finish line because it just dragged me down into my basement. I felt so exhausted when I was trying to do the stuff. And now I have an amazing implementer. Jenny just like makes sure all the boats are rowing in the same direction, and I don't have to do that part. I get to like spend my time and energy doing all the things I love. So it can be a very freeing experience. It can seem daunting, like in the implementation phase, which I do highly recommend utilizing an implementer. I didn't have the benefit of having Katie, but I would use Katie. And I really do believe in the product and the tools. So at the end of the day, I can highly recommend you to anyone.
Thank you very much. Yeah. You asked about size and things like that. We have found it works best for organizations that are 10 employees to 250 employees, but the tools are really good, even if it's just you, even if it's 5 people, and it allows you to scale your business. And I can tell you there's a lot of organizations that are way larger than 250 that have had a lot of success. Discipline and accountability and applying the tools is where we find the best success with organizations.
Yeah. And even if you're kind of doing it kind of on a smaller scale like we are, because we're not at 10 employees, I'm like a lot more comfortable with the fact that I see how we're going to scale, and then when we do scale, everyone on the team's already used to it. Like they already have heard the terms, they can help new employees kind of familiarize themselves with the process. And we did a book club exercise this year where we would read the What the Heck is EOS book. So if you just want like the basics, like the bare minimum, Traction's an awesome book. I mean,
it is.
Don't get me wrong, but
have you ever read Get a Grip?
I have it, and I haven't read it.
So I always say that it was actually written for implementers to help teach us how to take a company through the journey. I feel like that is the book that connects really well with visionaries also because it's written like a storybook.
Oh,
and
interesting.
while I love Traction and have read it multiple times, sometimes it reads like a textbook. And so What the Heck is EOS is an awesome summary. It's really great for employees when they start to hear you throw out really weird words they've never heard about.
Level 10 meeting.
Yeah, level 10, rocks, all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good to know. I'll grab it out of my bookshelf. Because I was thinking I want to have a physical book that I'm reading, like going into the new year. I don't know, the winter is just a better time for reading. For sure. And I listen to audiobooks all the time, but I was kind of like figuring out which book am I going to pull off the shelf. So now I know. Thank you. Good. And there's also a really easy, quick tool online that you can take, and it's like the VI.
Well, so that we've got two. So there's the Visionary Integrator. We call it the Crystallizer. That will tell you what your level of visionary is versus what your level of integrator is.
And those two do not equal 100. So like you can be high-ish in both or lower in both or whatever. So
I was an integrator before I became an implementer, and why they picked two terms that are so close, I'm not sure. I didn't get to do that. But I was actually fairly high in visionary, just a lot higher in the integrator. I like the details and things like that. Yeah. There's also a tool on EOS Worldwide.com that is called the Organizational Health Check. And it's 20 questions that allows your organization, it just gives you a score out of 100 that tells you where you're at and helps you identify areas you might want to work on.
Yes. That is an awesome tool because everyone, or just maybe leadership team or whoever you choose to take it, you can all take it together and then analyze the results like as a whole. We're really excited. We have strategic planning coming up here at the end of the month. We do it between Christmas and New Year's.
It's a good time.
And so it's a whole day activity where we'll go through the whole VTO and set all of our new goals. And this is when everyone's really excited.
Yeah. Well, and that's
it brings new energy.
It does.
Everyday, the everyday type of stuff. So
it does. And the cool thing about EOS is every 90 days you're coming back to that plan instead of it just sitting on a shelf and you're never looking at it again. And so you get that new energy every 90 days.
Yeah. Anyways, so I don't know if we've gotten everyone enough excited about it, but if you'd like to do a session, and Katie was telling me that she'll do like a free 90-minute session, you can go to, I tagged her page in the post, you can go there and fill out a form and get in touch with her to just learn more about it and see if it would be something like a fit for your company.
Absolutely.
What else do we need to know? What are some of your final thoughts?
I think that entrepreneurs a lot of times get really, really busy. And they feel like the busier I am, the more successful I'm going to be. And
that's a trap.
We have found that's a trap because it's actually, there's a really good book that I just finished called Who Not How. It's about surrounding.
That's an awesome book. Yeah.
It's about surrounding yourself with the right who's.
Yeah.
And then they can help you figure out the how. And EOS can be a who. It's a system, but it can help you find those right people, put them in the right seats, and really help you achieve that vision for what you want for your business.
And I think that there's enough, interaction back and forth that you're not going to feel like you are totally out of the loop on anything. Right. It is pretty freeing system. I already said that, but I guess that's the best word to describe it for me. But yeah, I mean, I think it really empowers employees too. And a lot of people have like awesome employees that they want to kind of step up to the next level. And I've actually heard of people implementing EOS just, as sort of like an exit strategy as well, to identify who's going to take the reins and what that's going to look like and how the customers would be affected. And
I have a team that I'm working with right now, and we're going through that. They're transitioning their leadership because their leader wants to retire.
Yeah.
And it's allowing him to feel like the company can move on and be successful.
Yeah, he doesn't like have the fears of like, well, what's going to happen to my name, while I'm gone. So they can more go into retirement on a more relaxed level.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for coming in today and sharing your stories and telling people about the operating system that is so amazing. But I hope you have a Merry Christmas, and I hope all of you do as well. Happy holidays. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the new year.